The space station was alive with sounds, lights blinking and engines humming. Alien travelers of all shapes and sizes moved quickly through the corridors, their voices echoing in strange tones. Among them, Captain Aron walked cautiously, his eyes scanning the crowd. He had been sent on a routine mission to deliver supplies to a distant sector, but something felt different today. As he passed the docking bay, he noticed a small figure standing alone. Her skin shimmered faintly under the artificial lights, and her eyes glowed with an unusual silver hue. She looked lost, shivering slightly despite the warmth of the station. Aron paused, curiosity and concern mixing in his mind. He had seen many alien species in his travels, but this girl was different. There was something fragile yet powerful about her, something that made him stop in his tracks. He walked closer, careful not to startle her. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked, his voice calm but gentle. The girl tilted her head, staring at him with wide, unreadable eyes. She did not speak, but a small, almost musical sound escaped her throat. It was not a word, yet it carried meaning, a warning or a question. Aron could not tell. He reached into his bag and pulled out a clean towel, a simple gesture, but he hoped it would help. "Here, this might help," he said, holding it out to her. His hand shook slightly, not from fear of her, but from the uncertainty of what might happen next. For a moment, the girl did not move, her eyes following the towel carefully. Then, she leaned forward, her small hand reaching for it, but instead of taking it in a normal way, she twisted her body strangely, almost like she was testing him. Aron's heart skipped a beat. Her reaction was not what he expected. She did not simply take the towel and move on. Instead, she stared at him, blinking slowly, her silver eyes now glowing brighter. It was as if she was seeing into him, reading his thoughts. Aron felt a chill run down his spine, but he could not look away. Just then, a loud noise echoed from the other side of the docking bay. Several large figures appeared, moving quickly toward the girl. Their appearance was rough, with armor and weapons. Aron realized they were smugglers, their eyes locked on her like predators. Without thinking, Aron stepped between them and the girl. "Stay back," he shouted, holding the towel like a shield. The smugglers paused, surprised by his boldness. The girl took a step closer to him, her small body trembling but her eyes fixed on the attackers. Then something amazing happened. Her hands glowed faintly, a soft blue light spreading across her fingers. She raised them slightly, and the smugglers froze, their weapons stopping in mid-air. Aron's jaw dropped. He had seen advanced tech before, but he had never seen anything like this. The girl looked at him, her eyes now softer, almost thankful. She handed the towel to him instead of taking it, her movements careful and deliberate. Aron took it, confused, but he understood one thing: she trusted him. The tension in the air slowly faded, but Aron knew this was only the beginning. The girl moved beside him, and he noticed small marks on her arms, scars that hinted at a difficult past. He wondered what she had gone through and why she was alone in such a dangerous place. As they walked together, Aron tried to speak again. "Who are you? Where did you come from?" The girl shook her head, making a soft sound that was almost like laughter. She pointed toward the station's exit, then looked at him, as if asking him to follow. Aron nodded, understanding that words were not enough here. He offered his hand, and she took it carefully, her grip surprisingly strong. They moved through the crowded corridors, the other travelers unaware of the small drama unfolding. The girl occasionally glanced at him, her expression unreadable. Aron felt a mix of curiosity, concern, and admiration. He realized that helping her was not just an act of kindness, it was the start of something far bigger, something that could change everything he knew about the universe. As they reached a quieter area of the station, Aron glanced back, the smugglers now disappearing into the crowd. He knew they were not safe yet, and the girl's abilities hinted at secrets he could not begin to understand. But for now, she was safe, and he had earned her trust. The towel had been a simple gesture, but it had opened a door to something extraordinary. Aron looked at her one more time, and the girl finally smiled faintly, a gesture so small yet so powerful that it filled him with hope. He realized that in this vast universe, moments like these were rare. Small acts could lead to great adventures, and as they walked side by side, Aron knew one thing for certain: the story of this strange, mysterious girl was just beginning. Aron and the alien girl moved deeper into the station, their footsteps echoing softly on the metal floor. The crowd around them seemed normal, but he could feel a subtle tension in the air, as if the station itself was holding its breath. He glanced at the girl, noticing more details than before. Her skin shimmered faintly like liquid silver, and her eyes reflected light in ways that made them seem almost alive. She was small, delicate, yet something about her presence felt commanding, like she was aware of forces he could not see. He tried to speak again. "I'm Aron, by the way," he said, smiling gently, hoping to ease the tension. The girl tilted her head and made a soft clicking sound, her lips barely moving. Aron realized this was her way of communicating, a language he could not understand yet. He decided to gesture, pointing to the towel he had offered her earlier. "This is safe," he said, hoping she would understand. The girl's eyes widened for a moment, and then she did something astonishing. Instead of simply taking the towel or ignoring it, she raised her hand and lightly touched Aron's arm, sending a strange warmth through him. It was not like electricity, nor like fire, but something unfamiliar, deep, and strange. Aron froze, unsure if he should pull away. Her reaction startled him even more. She blinked slowly, almost as if she were testing him, then she turned toward a nearby wall, and with a soft gesture, she made the towel float in the air, spinning it gently as if it were weightless. Aron could not believe his eyes. How are you doing that?" he whispered, stepping closer. His heart pounded, both from fear and fascination. The girl's eyes met his, and for a moment, he felt a silent connection, a sense that she understood him in ways words never could. Suddenly, the towel dropped to the floor, and the girl jumped slightly, as if startled by something invisible. Aron looked around, but saw nothing unusual. The air felt heavy, charged with energy, and his senses told him that danger could appear at any moment. He knelt slightly to meet her eyes. "It's okay, I won't hurt you," he said softly, trying to calm both of them. She hesitated, then slowly stepped closer, her small hand brushing against his again. This time, it was different, gentle, almost trusting. But the peace did not last long. From the corner of his eye, Aron noticed movement, shadows sliding along the walls. He could feel the smugglers had not given up, and now they were searching for her more carefully. Their eyes were sharp, and their intentions clear. They wanted her, no matter the cost. The girl noticed the movement too, and her body tensed. Her silver eyes flickered with a strange light, a warning or perhaps a preparation for what she could do next. Aron realized he had underestimated her abilities. She was not a helpless child, she was a being with powers he could barely imagine. He whispered, "Stay close to me," and she nodded, following him with careful steps. They moved through narrow corridors, the shadows of alien machinery casting strange shapes on the walls. Aron kept his hand close to her, ready to protect her. Then, something completely unexpected happened. The girl suddenly let out a soft hum, a melodic sound that filled the corridor. The light around her eyes intensified, and the air itself seemed to shimmer. Objects nearby quivered, as if responding to her presence. Aron watched in awe, speechless. He had seen alien technology before, he had seen strange phenomena, but never anything like this. It was almost as if she was speaking to the station itself, commanding it without words. The humming grew louder, but it was not threatening. It was a signal, a message he could not yet understand. Aron realized that the girl's reaction to the towel, to him, and to the environment was all connected. She was testing him, testing the space around them, and maybe even testing herself. Every movement she made carried meaning, and he felt lucky to witness it. As the hum faded, the corridor returned to its normal state, but Aron knew the calm was temporary. He looked at her, and she blinked slowly, giving a small smile, the kind of smile that was almost human, almost shy. For a moment, he let himself relax, but the knowledge that danger still lurked in the shadows made him tense again. He did not know what kind of being she truly was, but one thing was clear: her reaction to the towel had revealed powers and intelligence beyond anything he had expected. And as they continued walking, Aron could not shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. The alien girl had more secrets, more abilities, and more mysteries than he could imagine. The station felt alive around them, almost like it was watching, and Aron knew one thing for sure: he was now part of a story far bigger than he could have ever imagined. Aron and the alien girl moved cautiously through the station's twisting corridors, their footsteps soft but alert. The air felt heavier here, charged with a strange energy that made his skin tingle. He glanced at the girl, noticing her small hands clenched slightly, ready for something he could not yet understand. Suddenly, a sharp metallic clang echoed from a side passage, startling both of them. Aron froze, listening carefully. The the sound repeated, faster this time, followed by low, guttural voices. He could feel danger approaching, but he still could not see it. The girl's eyes glowed brighter, and she stepped closer to him, almost like a shield. Aron realized she was aware of the threat before he even sensed it. Her instincts were sharper than any humans he had known, and he felt a strange mix of fear and admiration. From the shadows, 3 large figures appeared, their armor black and scratched, their faces hidden under dark helmets. Aron recognized them instantly. They were smugglers, hunting her relentlessly. The leader stepped forward, his voice harsh and commanding. "There she is, the girl we've been looking for," he growled. Aron placed himself between them and the girl, holding out the towel almost as a symbol of protection. "Stay back," he said, his voice firm, but his heart pounded. The smugglers laughed, a deep, cruel sound, and stepped closer, their weapons gleaming under the dim lights. The girl did not back away. Instead, she lifted her hands slowly, her fingers glowing faintly blue. Aron could feel the air around them hum with energy. It was subtle at first, then stronger, as if the corridor itself was bending to her will. Aron's eyes widened. What are you doing?" he whispered, stunned by her control. The girl's gaze never left the smugglers, and with a sudden motion, the objects around them began to shift, crates floating slowly, loose wires spinning in mid-air. The smugglers froze, confusion spreading across their faces. One of them tried to advance, but as he moved, his legs felt heavier, as if invisible hands were holding him back. The girl's power was real, and it was stronger than Aron had ever imagined. She looked at Aron briefly, a silent reassurance in her silver eyes, then she focused on the smugglers again, her body tense and alert. Aron realized they had underestimated her entirely. This was no ordinary girl, she was something extraordinary, a being with control over forces he could barely comprehend. The smugglers hesitated, unsure how to deal with her, and Aron saw a chance. He grabbed her hand gently. "Come with me, now," he said, pulling her toward a narrow escape route. The girl nodded, her glowing eyes flicking over the shadows, and they ran, weaving through the corridors, hearts pounding, adrenaline rushing. The smugglers pursued them, but each step they took seemed slowed, hindered by forces they could not see. Aron looked at the girl in awe, realizing that her power was not just for defense. It was almost like the station itself obeyed her, bending and shifting at her will. Suddenly, the corridor opened into a large storage bay, crates stacked high and narrow paths winding between them. Aron slowed, realizing they were cornered. The smugglers were gaining on them, their voices echoing off the metal walls. "You can't hide forever," one shouted. The girl stopped and turned, facing them, her glowing eyes bright and determined. She raised her hands, and a force burst from her, knocking several crates down to block the path. The smugglers stumbled, caught off guard, and Aron felt a surge of hope. He whispered urgently, "Go, now," and the girl nodded, leading him through a hidden side passage, narrow and dark, barely enough space for both of them. The chase continued, but they were gaining distance, the girl guiding him with strange instinct and precision. Finally, they reached a quiet maintenance area, the hum of machinery masking their presence. Aron leaned against the wall, breathing heavily. The girl stood nearby, her small frame glowing faintly, yet calm and composed. Aron looked at her, awe written on his face. I had no idea," he admitted, his voice soft, realizing he had just witnessed something incredible. The girl tilted her head slightly, a small, almost playful sound escaping her lips, as if saying, "There's more to see." Even in the quiet, Aron could feel the tension lingering. Danger was still out there, and he knew the smugglers would not give up easily. Yet in that moment, he also understood one thing: he was no longer just a human in a strange place, he was part of her story. And the girl, with her strange powers and mysterious presence, had chosen to trust him. The station felt alive around them, aware of the tiny bond forming between the two. Aron realized that the adventure was only beginning, and the galaxy held secrets far beyond his imagination. Aron and the alien girl sat in a quiet maintenance bay, the hum of machinery around them a soft rhythm. The adrenaline from their narrow escape still raced through Aron's veins, but he could finally take a moment to observe her. She sat cross-legged on the metal floor, her silver eyes dimming slightly, no longer glowing as intensely as before, yet there was a calm power about her, a presence that made him feel both safe and curious. Aron reached out slowly, unsure if she would respond. She did, her small hand brushing against his. tentative but trusting. Aron felt a warmth spread through him, a silent message that they were allies now. He smiled gently. "You saved me back there," he said softly, still in awe of her abilities. The girl tilted her head, making a soft melodic sound, as if she were laughing or agreeing. Aron realized she was trying to communicate, but their languages were completely different. He decided to use gestures instead, pointing to himself and then to her. "Friends?" he asked. The girl blinked slowly, then nodded, and Aron felt a relief unlike anything he had experienced in years. For the first time, he sensed that they were on the same side, connected not by words but by understanding and trust. Aron wanted to know more about her, but he also sensed she might not be ready to reveal everything. Instead, he focused on small things, observing how she moved, how she reacted to the environment, the subtle way her hands glowed faintly when she touched objects, the quiet hum that seemed to accompany her movements. As they explored the maintenance bay for a safer exit, Aron tried simple words, showing her his communicator and pointing to maps. He wanted her to understand he would help her, no matter what. The girl watched carefully, tilting her head, then slowly began to imitate some gestures, signaling understanding. They found a small supply closet, dimly lit but secure, and Aron motioned for her to sit. She obeyed, her movements graceful and cautious. He noticed faint scars on her arms, delicate lines that hinted at a past filled with hardship. He wondered what had brought her to this station, alone and hunted. Aron decided to share a little about himself. "I've traveled many systems, seen many strange things, but I've never met anyone like you," he said, his voice quiet, respectful. She responded with a soft sound, almost like curiosity, as if asking why he was different from the others she had known. He smiled faintly, realizing they were starting to understand each other. Words were not enough, but the gestures, the shared experiences, and the trust they were building were stronger than language. The bond was forming quietly, like the first threads of a strong rope, ready to hold against anything. Suddenly, the girl reached out and touched a panel on the wall, causing lights to flicker and doors to unlock. Aron realized she was showing him her intelligence and resourcefulness. She was not just powerful, she was clever, able to manipulate the environment with precision. Aron felt a surge of admiration, but also a protective instinct. He whispered, "We need to move before they find us again," and she nodded, standing and following him without hesitation. Her trust in him was growing, and his trust in her was already deep. As they moved quietly through the corridors, Aron sensed a change in her, something emotional rather than physical. She paused near a window, staring out at the stars, and he noticed a glint of longing in her eyes. Perhaps she missed her home, or perhaps she feared what awaited her. Aron stepped beside her, careful not to startle her. "It's okay," he said softly, "I'll help you." The girl looked at him, and for the first time, she smiled openly, a tiny curve of her lips that seemed to light the room. Aron felt a warmth in his chest, knowing that she trusted him enough to show emotion. For a moment, the danger felt distant, replaced by a quiet intimacy between the two unlikely allies. They were alone, yet together, a human and an alien, sharing a bond forged in survival and understanding. Aron knew that whatever came next, they would face it as partners. As they continued moving through the station, the girl occasionally glanced at him, her silver eyes soft but alert. Aron felt a connection growing stronger with every step. He realized that she was not just a child or a passenger, she was a being with her own mind, feelings, and purpose. The station seemed different now, less threatening, almost aware of their growing bond, and Aron understood something important. This girl, mysterious and powerful, had chosen to let him into her world, a privilege he would protect with everything he had. And in that quiet understanding, Aron felt hope, something rare in his long years of traveling. The danger was not gone, but the bond they shared would make them stronger, and together, they could face whatever the galaxy threw at them. Aron and the alien girl moved cautiously through the final corridors of the station, the hum of engines and distant chatter echoing softly. Though the immediate danger of the smugglers had passed, Aron knew that their escape was only temporary. Something bigger, something unknown, was waiting for them. The girl paused at a large, reinforced door, her small hands hovering over the surface. The glow in her eyes intensified, and she made a soft melodic sound, almost like a key turning in a lock. Aron watched closely, realizing that she was about to reveal something important. The door slid open slowly with a hiss, revealing a hidden chamber filled with glowing alien symbols. floating holograms, and strange machinery. Aron stepped inside carefully, his eyes wide. This was unlike anything he had ever seen, advanced technology mixed with organic patterns, as if alive. The girl moved toward a central pedestal, her steps confident, purposeful. She placed her hands on a glowing console, and a holographic map of the galaxy appeared, stars blinking in patterns he had never recognized. Aron's jaw dropped as he realized the scale of what she was showing him. This is incredible," he whispered, unable to contain his awe. The girl made a soft sound, her silver eyes locked on his, and Aron sensed a message without words: "This is my mission, this is my responsibility." He looked closer at the holograms and saw that they marked systems in turmoil, planets under threat from unknown forces. He understood then that she was not just an ordinary being, she carried knowledge and purpose that could affect the entire galaxy. Suddenly, she turned to him, her expression serious, almost pleading. Aron realized that she had chosen him for a reason. She trusted him to help, to protect her, and perhaps to join her in a mission far greater than anything he had imagined. Aron felt the weight of responsibility pressing on him, but also a spark of excitement. He had faced danger before, but nothing like this. He looked at her, determination forming in his chest. "I'll help you," he said firmly, and she gave a small, approving nod. Then, without warning, the holograms shifted, revealing the smugglers who had chased them earlier, but now, their presence was only part of a much larger threat. An unknown fleet, massive and shadowed, moved toward the systems she had marked, intent on destruction. The girl's hands glowed brightly, and a low hum filled the chamber. The air seemed alive with energy, reacting to her emotions and thoughts. Aron watched in awe as she controlled the holograms, analyzing, planning, preparing. She was not just a girl, she was a commander, a protector, a force beyond imagination. Aron stepped closer. "What do we do?" he asked, realizing the stakes were higher than life or death. The girl made a soft sound, then touched his shoulder gently, a silent reassurance. She gestured toward the holographic map, indicating a course of action, a path that could save countless systems. As they studied the holograms, Aron felt a bond stronger than ever. They were not just allies, they were a team, human and alien, each depending on the other to face the coming storm. The responsibility was immense, but together, they were powerful, capable of more than either could achieve alone. Suddenly, the girl looked at Aron with a serious expression. "You must know," she said, her voice melodic but firm, "this mission, it is dangerous. Some may not survive." Aron swallowed hard, realizing the truth in her words, yet he also understood that he could not turn away, not now. The chamber trembled slightly, the holograms flickering as if sensing the gravity of the moment. The girl reached for a small device on her belt, pressing it against the console, and a secret panel slid open, revealing a hidden message written in her language. Aron could not read it, but he sensed its importance. She glanced at him, her eyes intense. "This is why I came here, why I needed you," she said softly, and in that instant, Aron realized the full weight of the adventure they were about to face, a galaxy-spanning mission that would test courage, intelligence, and trust beyond anything he had ever known. The final revelation struck him. She was not just seeking safety or survival, she was here to change the course of the galaxy, and he was now part of it. Chills ran down his spine, but excitement surged too. He had never felt more alive, more aware of the infinite possibilities. As they left the hidden chamber, heading toward the docking bay, Aron glanced at her. "I don't know what's coming, but we face it together," he said, and she nodded, a small smile forming, her silver eyes reflecting stars and hope. The station lights flickered one last time, hinting at dangers yet unseen, and Aron knew that this was only the beginning. Their story, the story of a human and an extraordinary alien girl, would ripple across the stars, challenging enemies, forging alliances, and revealing truths that could reshape the universe. And as they stepped into the shadows of the station, ready to confront the unknown, Aron felt a surge of determination, excitement, and awe, because sometimes, the smallest gestures, a towel, a smile, a touch, could ignite adventures that spanned galaxies. And this was their adventure, just beginning.